Okay, we're here today for another look at the Margaret Petersen Tarot. It's sort of an interview with the deck, pulling a few cards, looking it up in the book, and then seeing how it works with the question. The questions, it's all about context when you do read tarot. You do sort of need a question, but so it's sort of a deck interview. Anyways, I think I'm going to ask this just a very simple question of yesterday, I think the other day I said, what's my lesson? What's my lesson for today? And I think today it's going to be, what should I know? Or what can you tell me? What should I know? What can you tell me? What do you know? What can you tell me? What should I know? What can you tell me? What should I know? What can you tell me? Okay, let's go. Alrighty. This over here. Alrighty, so here we go with Margaret Petersen. What should I know? What can you tell me? Now, before I go on, for me, that kind of question, what do you know? What do you know? What can you tell me? I think I'm really asking that question to myself. I'm not sure about the cards themselves. The cards are just tools for our own intuition and imagination. So that's what I believe. So I don't, at this point, believe that the cards have any intrinsic value. Like, in other words, they're not looking into me, and this is not looking into me and telling me. I think it's sort of, it could be the universe, helping with what cards show up, but it's up to me to do the interpretation. And it's up to me to be open and interpret it. But I think it's a way of reaching inside yourself. Because I think we all know the answer to the questions we ask. I don't know. I think everyone comes to the tarot for different reasons and has different expectations. And I think I'm just beginning, I'm just learning, so my opinion could change over time. I don't consider myself a psychic or a medium or anything like that. I just really look at the cards and try to come up with meaning, give them meaning. What should I know? What can you tell me? The moon. The moon is one of her more traditional cards, if not the most traditional card. It has the columns. It has the moon, of course. It has the passage through. So let's see if you can see that. Beautiful colors. So you're kind of, as I interpret the moon in the past, she has figures here. It's interesting. There's a figure here, a woman, a naked woman who's tied up. And here's a woman or a man's face. And there's the crab. And then there's a dog over. The dogs are closer on this travel. So there's a path. And you're at a crossroads here. So you're standing here and you're looking in the moonlight beyond. And this is a passageway. And how I interpret the moon is you're standing here and you have a decision. You have the option of going into the card, into the moon, into the moonlight, or choosing to stay away. Because there's a lot of hidden things in this, a lot of hidden information, a lot of hidden subterranean issues with the moon. And it can be scary. It's more of it's kind of like a shadow card, I guess. So there's information here that can be scary. The crab, as far as I know, is like things that are hidden that could bite you. And then there's dogs that are, I'm not sure if they're, I don't think they're helpful. I think they're another troubling matter you have to deal with as you go through this path. And so you make a choice whether you want to go there or not. Now, in another card, I was reading the moon, and it was water. This doesn't look like water. This looks, unless it's a river, it doesn't have the expanse of water with the moonlight shining on it. When I read the card, one of the times I read a card with a deck, I can't remember what the deck, it was a lot of water, and I decided to go in, and then I was floating on my back, and I looked up, and all there was a dome of stars. So I was fearful to go in, but once I went in and went floating on my back, it wasn't scary at all. Now this one, it doesn't have that sensibility. This looks like it's serious diving into the unknown. There's a lot of issues here. So let's see what she says about the moon card. Okay. Oops. Whoopsie daisy. Oh, yeah, if I knew my numbers better, I'd... Okay. The moon. A silent being groping its way from the ocean of unconsciousness to the mountains of knowing. Okay, so there's the mountains in the background, but there's this unconsciousness to get there. Lady Moon, your light gently shows disentanglement, disillusion, liquefaction of illusionary phenomena. The small mind, guardian of causal laws, steps back. Other realities expand. What once was suppressed as harmful and considered to be a taboo is now allowed to come to the surface. Salty tears are transmuting into precious alchemistical essence. Well, that's a mouthful. It's kind of what I suggested earlier, as far as what the moon implies. The moon, a silent being groping its way from the ocean of unconsciousness to the mountain of knowing. So as a person, I am the silent being groping my way from here to there, from the ocean of unconsciousness to the mountain of knowing. So it's this journey to know myself better. Lady Moon, your light gently shows disentanglement, disillusion, liquefaction of illusory phenomenon. In other words, the Lady Moon is shining light to help not only, I mean, in the past, a lot of times they say the light is shadowy and dark, but in this case, it seems to say that the moon is helping one go through this process. It's gently shows disentanglement, disillusion, liquefaction, I don't know what that word means, of illusionary phenomenon. In other words, it is lighting the way, the Lady Moon. So it's there to help you. It's not there. The moon isn't the problem. It's just going into your subconscious. It's kind of scary, and it's there to light the way. The small mind, guardian of causal laws, steps back. I think it's if you're fearful, maybe, or if you have trepidation, you would not go in this, and so you step back. Anyways, then it goes on that other realities expand. What once was suppressed as harmful and considered to be taboo is now allowed to come to the surface. Salty tears are transmuting into precious alchemistical essence. So here we're going through a journey. It's difficult. It's scary. The moon's there to help. But when we deal with our fears, our anger, or any negative emotions or emotions that are troubling, I mean, not negative, but just emotions that are maybe, or situations that are not, that are difficult. If we take this journey, they'll come up and they'll dissipate. And salty tears are transmuting into precious alchemistical essence. And so, of course, this is the ultimate. I talked about this meditation card last time I did one of these with the Eight of Cups. Well, this is the ultimate meditation card, I think. I mean, going inward, facing your fears, your anxieties, your anything that you have, any negativity that you feel you have, problems you have. This woman here tied up. I don't know if you can see it on the my shadow, casting a shadow. She's tied up, and there's a face here, not kind of looking back at you. So whatever issues you have that are the darkness of you, they have to be faced. So here, what is the lesson? What can you tell me? What can I learn from the tarot today? I said, well, again, it's meditation, but it's probably not just it's just sort of like meditate. The Hierophant. The Hierophant is a counselor, sacred knowledge, someone to help you, I guess. Let's see what they say about the Hierophant. I usually don't pull the Hierophant for some reason. Probably because I'm a lost soul. I don't pull this card very often. The Hierophant, knower of stars, priest, shaman, initiated into the movement of the planets and the wisdom of the serpent. Guarding the keys to the realm of the unconscious. The gesture of your hand, I think he does this, or I don't know, does this, shows your calling, enlightened to choose the way of service, transforming suffering into knowing. We get to know the universe. A breath heralds your existence. So it's very, it sort of plays into this journey that I'm on, and this is a supportive card, it seems to me. Knower of stars, priest, shaman, initiated into the movement of the planets and the wisdom of the serpent. Guarding the keys to the realm of the unconscious, so he would be guarding the keys to that. The gesture of your hand shows your calling. Enlightened to choose the way of service, transforming suffering into knowing. We get to know the universe. A breath heralds your existence. So I see this as a supportive card to to following through with excavating the unknown within us all. I wonder if this is a fire element or if this is a air element of some kind. It looks pretty fiery. The Ten of Feathers. Now we're getting down. The Ten of Feathers is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is the completion of a cycle. It's, of course, it's the intellectual mind communication aspect of ourselves. In the Rider-Waite, it's where the 10 swords are in the back of a bloodied body. Let's see what she said about the 10 of Swords. Interesting. I should have this sort of indexed a little bit better, as I see. I'm going going the wrong direction? Am I going the wrong direction? Yeah. Oh no, here I am. They're in the back. Ten of Feathers. Okay, here we go. Stop the film. The fickle and shadowy thoughts have come to rest. They have settled on tree branches and come down to earth. You have experienced fear and pain without being destroyed. You have experienced yourself as part of the film and as part of the screen. Now this is interesting. This calls to mind that therapy that they used to use with people, can't remember the name of it, where you would approach anything that was, let's say there was a period in your life where, let's say you were accosted by someone, and afterwards you developed a tremendous anxiety being in a room or something. And what they would do in this therapy is you would relive it, the moment over and over again in your mind, but you start to remove the emotional content from it. And then you could also change the movie in your mind. There's a word for this therapy: LPN, NPL, let's see, language therapy, well, you know what I mean. Someone knows what I mean. So, yeah, it was 3 letters. So that's what she's coming with from that. That's in this. This is what this card is, which is funny because it's very popular therapy in the back then, the 70s, 80s, 90s. I think they still do it in some form. You have experienced fear and pain without being destroyed. You have experienced yourself as part of the film and as part of the screen. In other words, when you do this therapy, you just objectify it. You put it a distance from you. The choice is yours. You can always leave the realm of your nightmares. Put a stop to old patterns of thought by gaining mental clarity and applying the power of discernment. Okay, I think we all can relate to this card. I mean, I think we all have issues. I have a lot of issues, and I'm still dealing with them over my life. And probably, I mean, this is very pertinent to me. It seems like I never quite get there, though. I never quite solve the issues. I mean, I always seem to go back to this old film that goes over and over and over again. Certainly, over the years, it doesn't have as strong of a connection, but it's still there, lingering. So, the Ten of Feathers. Stop the film. The fickle and shadowy thoughts have come to rest. They have settled on tree branches and come down to earth. You have experienced fear and pain without being destroyed. You have experienced yourself as part of the film and as part of the screen. The choice is yours. You can always leave the realms of your nightmares. Put a stop to old patterns of thought by gaining mental clarity and applying the power of discernment. They say, oh, you just stop, this book implies as well as other people said, you just have to stop thinking. Just don't think about that. I don't know if that's the answer, to be honest with you. I think the answer lies more in here than with this, just stopping your thinking. I mean, you certainly can stop your thoughts, but it's hard to do. There was a very, I suffered for a year from a lot of anxiety, and I saw like a 2-minute thing on Facebook about 2 or 3 years ago about what you do with fears and anxieties. When you start having a fearful event or a moment or an anxious moment where you think you're going to have a panic attack or whatever, the gentleman said, take that fear, that panic, and put it behind you. And that is like that really resonated with me. And so whenever I feel a little uncomfortable or a little anxious, I put it behind me. Because when you're feeling that way and it starts to grow and you get more and more anxious, more and more fearful, it's right in your face. I mean, you can't breathe. It stops your breathing almost because it's just pressing against you. It's just pressing right against you. But he seemed to indicate, okay, take that feeling and put it behind you. It's a mind thing. You put it behind you and have it push you forward. And I forgot about that until I just was reading about this card. So it's not thinking. It's just kind of moving things around in a different place. And that kind of worked. I'll have to do that more. Anyways, it made me think of that. So the story is, what they're trying to tell me is to continue doing my meditation work and be fearless and go in there, do some excavating. The moon is there to help me. The moon is there to shed light. So the moon is not, I think we get the feeling that the moon is kind of like this kind of woman energy that's kind of dark and kind of, but it's actually, I like the idea of it. It's actually shedding light where there is no light. And there's this Hierophant who's there to help me. There's this, part of myself maybe that's here to help, that's helping, that should be able to help me. And that in the end, I will be successful in dealing with whatever comes up and moving forward if I choose. So if I choose, I can certainly get out of this cycle that I've been in for, I don't know, 50 years. Oh, I handle it so well. Anyways, that's my reading for today with the Margarete Petersen. Again, I've learned a lot more about the cards. Very interesting with the Ten of Feathers. I like it. That's definitely a keeper. Worth the price of admission. Have a great day.